Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Chunklight Media Justice League movie Zack Snyder cut review. Today, you're joined by Luis Olvera, Aldo Pineda, and this guy.
You're completely blocked.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Unfortunately, your favorite member won't be able to be here, which is me.
Because he didn't do his fucking homework?
Yeah, Diego Messina is working.
I don't have fucking 4 hours to spend on a fucking goddamn mediocre film. Anyways, let's just wait till that fucking noise is gone.
2 hours later.
Comment below your favorite basement noise. Is it the water heater or is it the air conditioning or the toilet flushing, the air conditioner?
Kids being fucking strangled upstairs. Anyways, I've just like the cameo for the special edition of this review.
You're like Zack Snyder in the Zack Snyder cut of the movie.
This is the Snyder cut of.
Oh fuck! I definitely remember like Zack Snyder's cameo in the movie.
Yeah.
He explains the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
All right, Louis.
He's like, hey, I'm Zack Snyder. That's my Lewis joke.
He's
He's the truck driver that was
Because that was a Lewis joke. It was funny.
I'm sorry.
All right, Louis, take it away.
All right, so I guess we're gonna go into our initial thoughts. So Alan,
we're gonna have that as our intro. Okay.
Well, I mean, you already got the intro, but
Okay, I mean we could keep it as an intro. Fuck
yeah,
it.
I mean, do you want to keep it as an intro? I can start it. Okay, we'll keep it as an intro. Anyways, me, Lewis, this Alan, this Aldo. So
What
thank
a
you for
mess.
joining us.
What
and,
a fucking mess.
I can't even say the jokes anymore. So go ahead, Alan.
What jokes? You just told us about your day. That's it. I mean, we definitely didn't.
I saw the movie in
try
Spanish.
to record. Oh my fucking god.
All right. Well, my thoughts had changed from the beginning. Well, before seeing this movie, I had two thought processes. The first one, when first hearing about the Snyder Cut, I was like, oh, okay, why should we care about this right now? It's something that's probably never gonna happen, or something like that. It'll probably cost more money than it's actually worth putting into. And it was a hot garbage.
At the time, did they say like how long it was? Because when I heard of it, I was like, oh, it's probably like just like 10 more minutes or like
Like a whole Batman vs Superman type of thing.
like they just switched some dialogue or some scenes
and
over and
add some scenes here, add some scenes there. I thought it was gonna be exactly like that because we received that exactly. So I was like, oh, I thought it's gonna be another Batman v Superman situation. But then once I actually started once we actually started getting more information about it up until like last week, I was actually pretty excited because like there was a lot of new plot lines, new character developments, and I was just excited to see it.
I didn't like the original Justice League movie because of Steppenwolf being the main villain and not really giving like a good backstory behind Cyborg, or you don't really need to give Aquaman, Wonder Woman, or Superman, Batman. But I was expecting maybe like a Flash explanation how he became so fast. But more the Cyborg one was actually really interesting. But when I was first hearing 4 hours, I was like, man, I have really short attention. So I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to pay attention for 4 hours in a movie if it's going to be a lot of dialogue and not a lot of action scenes? But I pulled it through.
So initially we were like, it's cool, I guess. Right?
Initially we were like,
Initially, when I heard 4 hours, I was like, this is crazy. Maybe it's like 3 hours of action movie and like a whole hour of like commentary or something like that. Kind of like, hey, I'm sorry it took forever, but this is why. But I can see why. There wasn't even a lot of credits after that. It was like very few, like whoever edited the movie. All right, so let's talk about our pros and cons about this movie. You go ahead.
actually, Aldo, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Why me?
Okay, fuck it, I'll go first.
No, I'll go first. You said me.
All right, so for my first pro. All right, pros and cons. Pro. I'm talking about character-wise, first of all. I loved how they actually gave character development to certain characters. Like Flash, but more importantly, Cyborg. Cyborg just has a way more like fleshed out character development here. We actually see his emotion. We actually see what he goes through. We see a character arc and not just him brooding around like in the first version of the movie.
Yeah.
And like, I could go on and on, but like, we're not gonna have a lot of time, so I'll just keep compressed. Let's see. Cyborg, really good one. Flash, holy shit, dude. I hated in the first movie, the first Justice League, Joss Whedon style. I hated how they portrayed Flash. I hated it so much. It was like he was portrayed as that quirky, awkward guy, but not in a good way. It's like the person you find in the anime manga section, like at Barnes and
Oh.
Nobles.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
like the insert that TikTok of the weeb kid or the weeb kid saying the Japanese words. Basically like that.
Yeah, like it was just, it didn't feel natural. It was just trying too hard, and it was cringy. It didn't land. But the new Flash, don't get me wrong, there's some things that don't quite land us right. But just overall, the character is just so much better.
It is a
Like
little
it
bit
just,
better, yeah.
it just brought back the life in Flash for me, honestly. Like he's charismatic, but not in a cringy way. I really like the story. The story, way longer than way longer than we thought. First of all, but like it was well developed. It explained a lot more. It didn't just cut from place to place, scene to scene. You actually got explanations for like. I don't think in the first movie they explained why like Steppenwolf was actually in like the nuclear power place, right?
Yeah, no, it was just like I think at the beginning it was just like because no one goes there.
Yeah,
they
but
didn't really say like that he used
And
like
this-
actual environment, the actual radioactivity
Yeah.
to his advantage.
yeah. So that's just one of the things that they did in this
It's like,
movie.
it's like a little detail, but like it gives a lot more.
Like it makes it make sense.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, we're just at this random place. No, it makes it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
There's no stupid Russian family to add into the conflict.
Yeah,
I
like-
forgot about that.
Yeah.
yeah, they're out of the movie. Thank God.
Yeah, and there was just so much right in this movie. That's so much that got made correct.
Yeah.
And I was just happy seeing those, like, not seeing those bad scenes and seeing scenes that like greatly improved this movie.
I do want to add on about Cyborg was his relationship with his dad, because in the original movie they just said like, yeah, I hate my dad for no reason. He didn't give like any
Well, I mean,
explanation.
the only reason they gave was that he made me
He made me into like a
a
robot.
robot, then I can't go outside and shit like that. Basically.
Yeah, but what I like about this one is it gives you like a whole backstory. It gives you how he was a really good football player. And he was like the all-star MVP, and he was like,
Helping his friend. Well, he was super smart too. Like
Yeah,
he
he was super-
he changed his friend's grades and shit.
yeah. And knowing how he loved his family a lot, he loved his mom, but he was always disappointed that his dad wasn't always there at his football games or like anything big in his life. So to him, he was starting to dislike his dad bit by bit. And then the accident happened where I think it was a semi truck that crashed into the car that they were in, and immediately cut into the hospital where the mom dies, but the son, holy shit, dude, decapitated.
Well, he wasn't decapitated.
Not
He was
decapitated.
He was like cut in half.
Cut in half. He had no legs. He had like no left arm, and
stubs everywhere, dude, like a chicken nugget.
yeah,
Have you heard of nugget porn?
Fuck, I didn't want to be the one to mention it.
Insert it right here.
Enter the link right here.
he looked like Vision in the operating table. Flash, he was always quirky for me, but I wish they would have given like a backstory, like.
Oh, hey, there goes our background.
Bro.
Yeah, Flash being a quirky character. I wish they would have gotten more back into the story. Like, at least show, like, how his mom died. Because his mom died of, like, unexpected. And they accused the dad of committing the murder. But, he was there. Not really. He was and he wasn't. But that's for another story. But he knew, like, hey, I knew my dad didn't kill my mom because they loved each other a lot. Even though they would have arguments left and right. But they, when it came to like being a family, like they would shut the fuck up and like, oh, let's do it for Barry.
Basically the same thing.
Copy and paste.
Yeah. Just the character development. It was interesting. I don't think it like really changed a lot. Like, well, to the characters, it just gave more context to them. Right.
Yeah.
So it just added way more substance. I also enjoyed because in the original Joss Whedon one, Cyborg was just sort of like almost a plot device, and he's really integral towards the main goal of I think both stories, but in this one he's even more integral. So I think it was really appropriate to give him a lot of backstory and a lot of motivation to
Be a hero.
because he really took the initiative in this movie.
Yeah.
Like with I mean, he came up with the plan to to separate the Unity, and he didn't hesitate to well, I guess maybe in the Superman ship, but he still went through with the plan.
Yeah, because he had those visions.
I think just overall the character development was way more just way better.
I want to add to the Superman, that Superman scene where they bring him back to life. In the original Joss Whedon one, he was just pissed off that they brought him back to life, and he was more pissed off at Batman. And they never gave like a full explanation why he came back later to kind of help him out. But I like this one because at least this one, you know, his mom and Lois Lane, they're back at the farm, they're hugging out, and he knows there's a reason why they brought him back to life. There's no why would they bring him back to life if everything was alright. Aquaman being a good guy, like a good person to people, kind of makes sense. You know, he wants to help people. Wonder Woman just being Wonder Woman.
I don't think they added a lot to Wonder Woman.
No,
in this one.
you already have.
It was essentially the same thing as the original.
Yeah, you already have 2 movies about her. You don't really need to add a lot to it. But I do like how the Amazons were able to warn her about like Darkseid and the cubes, and then going into Greece and into the temple and going under on the tunnels and finding out like the
that
whole
wasn't
story.
in the original one, right?
No,
And
the original story.
The warning bonfire.
No,
I mean, the Warning Bonfire was there, but not the hidden cavern where you
Right.
see the whole backstory.
Yeah.
no, because she just like randomly knew like the whole story behind this, but in this one she had to like kind of
Find it out.
find it out, and she understood like there was like Amazons and
The big
Atlanteans.
I guess a big war against
Yeah.
the invaders.
And then how there was like people from like aliens coming in to help, but it was just like it was a Green Lantern Corps, and instead of being Steppenwolf, it was Darkseid. And Darkseid, he's the reason why he's destroying all these worlds is because he wants to find the anti-life equation. I was about to say anti-life multiplication.
Bruh.
I don't know why. He just wants
Anti-life PEMDAs.
he just wants to find it because he wants to be the most powerful being in the world, even though he technically is a god in the DC universe.
Just a character of Steppenwolf. I feel like he was just completely redeemed in this one.
Yeah,
Because in the other one, he was he looked like a toy.
yeah.
He looked like a Mattel toy, like the ones with the weird articulation
Like
points and all
Bionicles?
that. Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe not exactly Bionicle, but think of it
Yeah.
as like as a Ken doll.
Oh,
You get
yeah.
like the shape, and we'll put a picture before and after right there. But like, I feel like just he looks so much better, and just his character is more developed and given way more than just like for Darkseid, and that's it.
yeah.
No, in this one you actually know his motivation. You actually know his motivation. You actually know why he's doing this. You actually know that he's struggling and all that. And like
He's struggling. He's depressed. He's
he's depressed.
Yeah.
He's like
he wants to get his
he's got daddy issues.
Yeah.
yeah. He's got to pay off his debt just so Darkseid can let him back into the crew.
50,000 worlds.
Yeah,
yeah, and like it gives him so much more, and it actually makes him a threat because those first 10 minutes,
Yeah.
the Themyscira sequence, dude, it was intense because you could see how ruthless he was. He was like slaughtering people left and right and like
Yeah.
showing it, like how he was like unstoppable. Like they tried everything yet they could not get away. Like I feel like that just made him like an actual presence.
yeah. And then with the Atlanteans too. I mean, the Atlanteans was a different story. What was the name of the girl?
Mira?
Mira. I like that one scene where she, in a way, blood banned her. Blood banned him. He kind
Oh.
of like sucked the blood and
Yeah.
hopefully bleed him out. But he, instead of letting it happen, well, it happened for like a second, but he eventually got the second box because Aquaman intervened and kind of messed up in a way. But yeah, this was a redemption story. His armor looked a lot better. It looked very alienish. His soldiers didn't look like fucking idiots.
They look like actual demons, I think.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually look like demon soldiers, and the other ones, they just look like retards. Word of the day. So anyways, let's go to our cons.
Oh my fucking god, we're not done. I guess it was the exact same thing, exact same problem that I had with the original Justice League. I feel like the visuals just weren't there still. Like it was definitely a little bit like in terms of like CG and like
Oh, yeah.
and shit like that.
Like I was gonna say
Like
this,
Cyborg still looked a little weird
at
to
times.
me. Yeah, especially when Superman first woke up and he was doing the like twitching and shit.
No, like I definitely get it, because there's definitely moments in this movie that you're like, that looks off. That doesn't look right in terms of CG. Like, one scene I remember in particular is when Lex was in the water.
Yeah,
In the beginning?
and
Yeah.
he doesn't look wet.
No, he was clearly not in the water. They clearly just like
CG
they
green screened the water.
Yeah, they green screened, like they clearly green screened him in, because it looks so off.
Yeah, I was like thinking like he looks like it's like in a video game where like with shitty water physics, where like doesn't look like he's in
Like
it.
where he
He's-
moves and the
he's
water
in it.
doesn't move.
Yeah, he's in it, but he's not really in it. Like what was the problem of just filling a pool with like shit water?
And then having him stand there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was that, and then the whole character, because we didn't mention this earlier, but spoiler alert, I guess. Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
Dude, like, just
his
I feel like they could have definitely left him like one spot at the end, not necessarily in the middle part, but
Yeah.
just the CG in him, it just looked way too like he looked too animated, but in a bad way.
He looked like what's his face from Goku?
Like he looked like a
Real life Goku movie.
no.
he looks like that one
Gohan?
person from Goku.
From Dragon Ball movie.
From that
real life
Goku movie?
The alien. What was his name?
Piccolo.
Yeah.
No, dude.
They're all
Like
aliens.
no, because like let's say in Piccolo in the Dragon Ball movie, it was an actual person. Here's like
Oh yeah, because it was practical effects.
yeah, exactly. No, but this one, the way he moved, like you could tell was off. Like they did not have the time to actually render him well. So I feel like they should have just left him like
At the
either
end. Once at the
off
end.
either off the movie or at least once at the end to focus on him more. Because it would take me off. Like I would see him and I'm like, oh, that's cool, Martian Manhunter. But that CG on him would just bring me out of it.
Yeah.
Like the way he moved, he looked like the PlayStation character, honestly.
Yeah.
Like just the movements and all
Yeah.
that. No, I would say PlayStation 3 maybe.
They should have kept
Yeah,
him
but-
at the
Not
end.
PlayStation 2.
No, like early PlayStation 3 character. And it just bugged me.
Yeah.
For a movie that this type to still have scenes like that.
I think the big battle at the end too. Sometimes it was kind of weird. Like the CG.
Like what parts?
Like just the big battle at the end. Like cause there was so much shit going. Because there was so much shit going on.
Explain.
I said that like 3 times. There's just so much shit going on that
4.
like I feel like they couldn't really focus on like details. So like they just went broad with it, and like if you focus too much on one spot, you're like, oh yeah, that looks like shit.
Okay, fair.
I want to say about the backgrounds. It just feels like they had like at
Yeah.
in the farm scene. They're like, oh, we have like a cutout of a sunset in the back. Can we just use that and film with it instead of using like a green screen? It just felt to me like that.
Yeah, like I didn't know that fucking in the middle where Superman's statue was. That was all green screen. Like that was in a city background.
I thought
When,
they were
when,
using,
he picked up his head,
Yeah.
his statue head, all of that was green screen. None of that was shot in a city.
I thought they were using.
So wait, so you mean he didn't pick up a head?
I'm gonna ruin the audio. I'm gonna ruin the audio for whoever's editing this.
Continue.
I don't know. You just basically like bent me over and fucked my ass, Gaylord. I'm saying the environment wasn't fucking real at all. They could have used a real environment. I didn't say like he needed to pick up like a £1,000,000 fucking stone head.
Oh. Hey, that's racist.
I don't give a fuck. I'm a true racist. Leave that in.
Fuck.
You ruined this. You ruined it.
What do you mean? I made a joke that we're still laughing at. I said that's a funny joke right
Oh
there.
my fucking god! I knew I shouldn't have been in his review.
Fuck. Say that part again.
I knew I shouldn't have been in his review.
No. Your reason, like the background thing.
No, I'm done. That's it.
Fuck. Because I would be like, damn. So you mean they didn't actually film it in Metropolis?
Keep going.
All right, all right, let's go.
While he's on his phone.
Oh, that was like 5 minutes. I was straight laughing.
Fuck you guys. Go, Lewis.
All right. Okay. So, my problem was the settings too. It just felt weird. Like they had cutouts of everything and anything they needed. Like the farm scene, we got a cutout of like from an old 50s TV show with the sun down, sunrise or sunset. Let's just use that. There's some parts where you didn't really need to have them.
That was actually a point that I was gonna say, and one of the points was like, when Batman is with Aquaman and all that, and Aquaman, dives off, and then they sing for like 5 minutes straight.
Yeah, why were they? I don't understand why they were
that
You
singing.
get
kinda
me?
stuff.
Like, there's
And then
definitely
the girl picks up his shirt and he goes,
and like,
"Oh, bussy, oh fuck, fishy bussy."
yeah, and then like they start singing for like another 2 minutes after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's definitely a lot of scenes in this movie that could be completely cut off, and
Or he's
not
cut in half.
Yeah, like you could. I feel like there's a perfect version of this movie where you could take off 30 minutes and it still be peak right there.
I think a lot of the places where they would cut to the next scene, like where, like right in the beginning of the movie, where Bruce Wayne was like already done talking to Aquaman, and he's heading back to the airport. Like you didn't really need that. You didn't really need to tell Alfred, like, yeah, he's like an iffy, he's 50-50, he's not joining us. You could have just skipped back to the lab and, where
Or they say it again. Yeah.
Where they do say it again, and then obviously he comes out.
Yeah, and then Wonder Woman and Batman have like an awkward like hand touch.
Fuck. We had an awkward hand touch right now.
Yeah,
I tried to
awkward-
grab your hand and you tried to grab my cock.
Yeah, like you could have skipped that part.
All right, well, let's see. For my cons, well, I already mentioned, and I feel like we already mentioned the CG, the backgrounds, and all that. Okay, some things I did not like was the score.
I couldn't even tell.
score,
Like, I didn't
if there was
forget
one.
that there was.
Like, I didn't like one example perfectly is with Wonder Woman. Every time,
Yeah, every time she came out, it's like she was a
Like,
fucking Hispanic
oh.
character in a movie. It's like, oh, it's like the women fucking singing in the
Or
background.
whenever they would
Like-
fight, they would play like their respective songs.
No. Let's roll back a little bit to the Wonder Woman thing right there. We'll get to that. Yeah, I detested that so much. Like every part, every time
she showed up every time she did a
yeah,
move.
every time she's on screen for like a second, oh, like the background and all, like every part.
Yeah.
And it was at the end, like when I was like 4 hours in at this point, it was like laughable. Like, and it would take away, it would not fit in. What I like about the first movie. About the first Justice League, it was that guitar riff when
Yeah.
Wonder Woman would come up, and from her Wonder Woman movie. I feel like that's one of the things that they got right there, and not the whole stupid.
It was just way too repetitive.
Yeah.
I think the excessive slow motion, you didn't really need that.
Oh,
either.
the slow motion! I forgot about
yeah,
that.
but this is Zack Snyder.
Yeah, it was like the whole 30
He
minutes
do
you
be a
could have cut
snack.
out is the 30 minutes of slow mo they have it in the fucking movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Mostly Flash.
Well,
Flash,
Flash, you need
it makes
you need
sense.
it, yeah.
Yeah, Flash, it makes sense. Everything else going in slow mo. No, why?
No,
What are you
yeah.
doing? Wonder Woman, like scenes going in slow mo and stuff like that. Like, what are you doing? Cyborg scenes in slow mo.
You didn't really need her to go.
The football scene in slow mo, like that slow mo. That football
Well, I mean,
scene.
it was a memory, so
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
it
but,
kinda
like,
makes
You
sense.
didn't need that part where she was saving the kids at the museum because you already knew like she could block bullets with her bracelets because she did it right away when they started to shoot at her once she broke in,
Well,
and you didn't need a slow motion like.
okay, that part I
well
do.
that part, yeah, but I actually kind of disagree. I like that. I like that scene.
Yeah,
She's
but
like,
I think you mean it was like, oh, we like that scene was good, but we didn't need the whole revelation. Like,
She can block
I can
things
block
for-
bullets.
Yeah.
and that's because that was like a whole 2 minutes
also,
right there.
isn't she like? Can't she take a fucking straight right from fucking Superman? Why does she need a gauntlet to block a bullet? Can't she just catch it with her hand?
No, they can't catch bullets with their bodies unless I mean they could do it once, but just once.
Damn.
Another example was when we first started seeing Flash running, and they played that sad ass song, like in the pet store.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and instead of being something interesting, it's a sad song, like of
Yeah.
Flash starting running. Like I feel like I just feel like those tones don't fit with the scene, and it just
I think it was
didn't match.
mostly because he was wanting that job at because he needed like what the third or fourth.
Also
Yeah,
sad music or
Oh,
for
you
Because,
apply
like-
for a job. Oh no,
'cause,
there
like-
goes your life.
yeah, as a dog walker.
Well,
Like, oh,
the
no,
thing
you're-
about it is like he wanted to get this job, but he wasn't like very professional looking, and his resume looked like
Hey, Louis, shut
shit.
up. How about that?
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
Well-
I just definitely think this.
I think that scene would have benefited from like sort of like an X-Men Silver Quicksilver type beat,
Oh yeah, it would definitely
like an old school maybe like 80s 70s song.
So let's go to our final thoughts. Let's go with Aldo again.
Final thoughts. I mean,
Wait, but I
overall,
want to go first.
Okay, go ahead.
overall the movie is
Ah,
just
fuck
way
you, Aldo.
the movie is just way better.
All right,
More
but
more character development.
here's the thing though. Just because the movie is better than the first one doesn't mean it's a good movie.
No, that's why we had our cons.
What the fuck?
Thank you, Lou.
we have cons on all of our movies, even the ones we rated like.
Yeah, all of movies are bad.
Yeah, there you go. If you have one bad thought about a movie, it's automatically
It's
a bad
fucking
movie.
garbage, dude. According to Diego Brown. His own words.
Yeah, but like that's the question.
I guess no, but it was definitely more enjoyable. I mean, I guess because the first Justice League set a precedent.
Yeah,
It's a garbage movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then you add like just improve on that. I mean, you can't really I guess kind of a mediocre movie.
I mean the only way to start from the only way to go from the bottom is up.
It's up. Yeah. So maybe if this is like the only if you only watch this the Zack Snyder cut, can't say his name. You'd probably think like, holy shit, it's a long ass fucking superhero movie. And it's not even that great.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be like most people's reactions to it.
I would say the same thing too, because a lot of people would be more thinking like Avengers wise type of movies instead of like a little darker in Justice League and DC films.
Mhm.
So they're probably coming in with a mindset like we're gonna see like some happy stuff and so a lot of action and maybe some like sad parts, but overall it's been
And then at the end, oh, good guys win. Yeah, good guys win.
yeah.
Can't
But I
believe
mean,
the good guys win
the
for
good
like
guys-
X amount of times in a row.
yeah, but I mean like at this one the bad guy wins, and it took the Flash to kind of bring back time a few seconds just to fix it.
Mhm.
But if you
So
seen
good guys win.
Yeah.
Good guys win. But
then-
darker.
But I want to talk about could it be called what an end credit scene in a way? The desert area.
I wouldn't call it an end credit scene because it like started almost immediately.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Whatever.
When
The
they were in the
dream
desert.
sequence.
Yeah, the dream.
Oh yeah, with Jared Leto's Joker.
sequence. Yeah, because that's if you ever played Injustice or you read the comics, this is the part where Superman just becomes the straight up villain.
We're about to get 10 minutes.
And quick explanation: Lois Lane dies, and it's
It's Joker's fault basically.
it's Joker's fault, obviously. Well, maybe not in this one. I don't know yet.
Well, not in this one, but in the Injustice
In the
trailer.
game, yeah, it was his fault, and he goes crazy because he's like, well, I could have prevented this in a way. So he's like, I'm gonna rule the world, and if you don't, follow my rule, you're gonna get fucking killed. You're gonna get hanged, electrocuted, or whatever. The way he would do it. So Batman, being, I guess, not the smarter one, but the one with a little bit more common sense is like, shit's gonna happen, and you're always gonna play that thing where like I could have done this to prevent that, but it's like the Injustice game. Batman decides to make his own insurrection, rebels. So that's why the Flash is there, and the reason why Flash has armor is because he's a really important character, of what I believe. And this is kind of like a theory going into if they ever make a second or third movie, where I believe the Flash is going to be the way to kind of revert evil Superman by going back in time further. So he's going to have to do like a Flashpoint type of thing. It's going to be like a Flashpoint movie. And he's going to have to fix everything by running fast, but Superman can catch up to him in a way. So you need you want to take him to like a safe location and kind of like
Give him
do
a
it,
head start.
give him a head start. But that's a really good. I guess I want to say like dream sequence instead of an end credit scene. But I do like this movie. I do think it's a little too long. If I've never seen a DC movie, you would think it was too long. Where you were like, it's not really worth the point watching 4 hours. Maybe you can watch it in parts, like 30 minutes.
Also, considering you're probably not like, this is actually like after all of the origin movies,
Yeah.
and then after Batman v Superman.
Yeah, and you would have to.
You're not invested in the story, so
Yeah.
you're like, I don't want to invest 4 hours of my life on a fucking movie that.
Yeah, because it's not like something you can like pretty much stop and go with your day and then come back and. I mean, I guess you could, but there's parts where you kind of like, oh fuck, I gotta rewatch it just to understand what's going on now. Your turn.
Oh, that was so abrupt.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Final thoughts. Overall, huge improvement in from the first Joss Whedon one. Like just better story arcs, better character development. I mean, better story arcs, better story in general. It just has a lot more interesting takes and just a lot more interesting like DC stuff that like we didn't really see or even touch upon in the first Joss Whedon.
The first Joss Whedon.
Yeah, in the first Joss Whedon.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. But 4 hours is definitely one of those movies that I'm definitely not gonna see for a while again because this 4 hours. It's 4
It's
hours.
4 hours.
I just like this movie overall better. But the thing is, it's a mediocre movie.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah, like it's cool. Don't get me wrong. There's some scenes that I definitely loved.
It's a
and
huge improvement.
Definitely liked, like especially with flash scenes. But it's mediocre. Right now we're just in the hype of actually watching it after years of hype.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I probably wouldn't watch it anytime soon because
When did the original come out?
Like 2017,
Holy shit, that was
almost 4 years ago.
That's 4 years.
Oh wow, 4 years, 4 hours.
wait, did it actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2017.
So, anyways, what would you rate this movie, guys? I would give this movie a 7 out of 10, mostly because you will enjoy it if you've seen the original one. You will enjoy this one a little bit more. The reason why I don't give it like a perfect 10 out of 10, it's still a mediocre movie, but it has a lot more improvements than the original one had.
If we were rating if we existed back in 2017, because we were born like yesterday, I would have given that movie like a 3 or like a 2. This one's like a solid 5, 6, I think. It's twice as long and twice as good, but not that great.
All right, and my rating, I would honestly give it exactly what you did, a 6 out of 10. Why? Don't get me. It's way better than the first movie. Don't get me wrong. It's way better than the first one. Better characters, better everything. Score, maybe. That's up for debate. But it's still 4 hours long, and that's a main con right there. And it being just mediocre, it wouldn't make sense for me to watch it more than
Once.
like
Yeah.
a month at least.
Yeah. Or yearly type of thing, in a
Yeah,
way.
because I definitely don't imagine myself watching this like
Sober.
anytime soon within a month.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching our review. This is awkward because I don't really lead a lot, but thank you for watching, and we just want to say thank you so much for the 100 subs. We did it. We finally did it.
And the 1.3 thousand views on
Cowboy
on,
Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop, which is probably the least thought out video that Brown has ever made.
Yeah, like I don't think he did.
Why'd you guys watch that one? Why didn't you guys watch my Halo one?
Oh, start it off.
Halo, everybody, remember that? No, because only like 10 of you watched it. Fucking assholes.